What's the biggest plot twist you've seen in real life?
Worked at a small company summers during college. Two dudes that work there, Mike and John, are best friends since high school, and Mike is getting married to his high school sweetheart. 9 months after the wedding, the girl has a baby. And it looks nothing like Mike but a lot like John. And she reveals that she had sex with John on her wedding day before she actually got married. She divorces Mike, marries John the next day, and Mike and John are not friends anymore. I was seeing a guy from Tinder for a couple of months, but it fizzled out and we stopped talking. I was on Tinder again shortly after and matched with a girl, I'm bi, who told me to follow her on Insta. I noticed the Tinder guy also followed her, so I asked how she knows him. She hits me with he was dating my best friend for ages, but they broke up a couple weeks ago because he was fucking some girl from Tinder. My esthetician was giving a Brazilian wax to a new client. New client goes on about this new guy she is dating and how he's a bartender at XYZ. Esthetician's boyfriend was the bartender. Always fun to find out you are knee-deep waxing the wussy of the woman you are being cheated on with. Met a guy online, he was cool, found out he lived less than 2 hours from where I live. We meet up. First time seeing each other's actual faces. Ducking doppelgangers. Turns out his father is my bio father's older brother. Both our bio dads bailed before we were born. We both were sexually abused as kids by teachers, him at 15, me at 13. Both us have soy allergies and lisinouric protein intolerance, it's genetic. And both us joined the army and failed out during BCT due to undiagnosed mental health issues. Our lives had run parallel to each other. He's only a year older than me. For a semester in high school, my English teacher set up this game where one student was a secret killer. Every couple of days, the killer would sneak a note into a classmate's locker, backpack, textbook, or whatever that says you've been killed. My best friend and I were trying harder than anyone else in the class to play detective on this, especially near the end of the semester. Near the end of school, there were about 6 students left alive, and it turns out my best friend was the killer the whole time. The other twist that I forgot to mention is that at week 2 or 3, he went to a student that he didn't really talk to much and told him that he was the killer and that he needed him to kill me. So he hands him a few of the notes, and from then on he had a guy on the inside helping him kill people. That's why he could kill so many people without being caught, because if someone got killed, I was with my friend so I could vouch for him. The teacher said there was nothing in the rule book that said you could get another person to help you kill people. It was a huge gamble because the other kid could have just said I caught the killer and the game would be over. When I was a teen some 25 years ago, I played trumpet in the school band. We did a Halloween parade, but I had nothing to dress in costume for. I decided on a large black sheet with a hole in the top for my huge ponytail to stick out from the top in all its glory of crazy frizzy poof of curls, and a hole for my face and arms to stick out. I got a lot of "the fuck are you supposed to be?" I don't know, or was it, I suppose. Anyway, after the parade, my mother wanted to see my locker before leaving just to surprise check for anything not allowed. We passed by the auditorium and noticed a talent show just beginning. Mom pressured me to enter playing my trumpet. In this weird was-it costume, no less. By the time I was to go on, I still had no clue what to play. I felt silly in my Halloween costume getup when nobody else was in costume unless they were dancing or a magician act. I walked down the aisle towards the stage with trumpet in hand, contemplating what to do in my nervousness. Heard whispers among the crowd. As I climbed the little 3 steps of stairs up on the stage, I trip and fall up the remaining 2 stairs. I'm so clumsy. So I stand up and play it off like I meant to do that. Began acting silly and tooting my horn like a duck. Did a silly dance to an improv version of the most basic song to play, Hot Cross Buns / 3 Blind Mice. Ripples of kids are giggling in the audience. I see my mother's face contorted in displeasure that I'm not being serious enough to win this. Too bad, Mom, this is my time to shine in all my goofy, glorious weirdness. I wiggle my top knot poof and play a few jazzy bits of songs some older folks should know. Then to finish off, I act like I'm swimming a bit and begin playing Under the Sea from The Little Mermaid I had learned a year before. Ended with pretending to drown as I left back down the stairs without falling. Mom took me out in the hall to have her fit for about 10 minutes while the last contestants finished the show. She then goes off to look through my locker while I put away my trumpet and prepare to leave. I wait for her by the auditorium exit. They begin announcing the winners.
I won first place.
Suck it, Mom. When I was a sophomore in high school, we had a rash of thefts occurring during classes. It was a small school and we had no hall monitor or cameras in the halls. It went on for months until the gym teacher happened to catch the kid in the act of stealing from someone's backpack. There was a ruckus out in the halls and my class ran out to see what was going on. The thief was the principal's son. The gym teacher was holding him by his wrist and was telling everyone he just caught him stealing. The kid then pretended to pass out and he just fell to the floor while everyone rolled their eyes and went back to class. He was known for trying to get attention however he could. So cringy. There was a cookie exchange at my work. An odd pairing cookie was a rosemary caramel. It was so delicious I had 5 on my break. During the day I was so inspired, I worked in a bakery, I was just having the best day. All my favorite songs came on. And then I started getting these burps. It tasted like the rosemary, but something was off. I started feeling weird and tingly before my lunch break. My hands started to feel odd. Now being the mixer for the day, I worked with heavy machinery and knives. Soon a manager came by and asked if anyone had some cookies. Short while later, I find myself in a room with a handful of other people. All with odd issues, some were confused, others their stomachs felt off. EMTs, poison control, local police, firefighters were all cramming into the room to examine us all. Turns out that odd pairing was wheat cookies. We were stoned out of our minds. This girl I know was embarrassed of her home, so whenever her boyfriend would go pick her up, she'd run to a subdivision like 5 minutes away from her house and waiting at the end of the driveway for her boyfriend, and when he would drop her off, she'd just walk into the backyard of the house and say that she goes in through the back door. Her excuse was that her roommates were nosy, so she didn't want him to come in. She did this for almost a year, until he knocked on the door of that house unannounced once and an old lady was confused as fuck. My buddy and his girlfriend took a train to London to see a band play. It was a long journey, almost an hour, with a few stops, and once they were 1 stop away from London, they realized they didn't have the concert tickets. They got off the train, checked their bags, searched every pocket, checked their bags again, and decided to go back home to look there. They got back and found the tickets on the table in the hall of their house and headed back out again. When they were arriving at the station for a second time, they had to wait because there was a potential bomb threat. It turned out there was an unattended bag which was being checked over by the bomb squad. Whose bag? My buddy's girlfriend's bag. She'd left it at the station after looking for the tickets.
Share your story in the comments below. Thanks for watching.